Yes, we can.
Hey.
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
That is something impressive, dude. $10,000 for some Dota here. Bits America 2017. This is incredibly exciting.
Right.
Hype for some Dota.
You said you're hype?
I'm hyped, just a little bit hype.
I'm about to say, you sound kind of quiet for being hype, man.
Well, I'll just increase the intensity.
When we get into our first game?
So again, just before we start, I'd like to welcome everyone to 2017 Blood in the Streets America's Dota 2 Championship, supported by our partners over at Purse.io and Antlion Audio, and brought to you by FirstBlood.io, the first blockchain-powered esports platform. If you guys want to head over to FirstBlood.io, sign up to take part in upcoming events, and try out the beta over there at FirstBlood. Sky, you play there a lot, yeah?
Oh yeah, dude. I have been grinding on that ladder, trying to win myself some sweet hats.
You got any good hats?
You know, I actually got the Monkey King Arcana.
No way.
From the ladder. Yeah.
Word.
A couple weeks back, and I was definitely spamming some Monkey King right off of TI, so it was good timing on my part.
That's got to be one of the sickest of the Arcanas, I think. I'm not sure if there's a cooler one than that.
You know, for a while I was thinking Phantom Assassin, and maybe still, I don't know. You get the dual blades, dude.
You like putting daggers everywhere?
Marking the graves on the ground.
Most annoying thing in the world. You're one of those people, huh?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I had to get the Arcana so we could do the quests. Because that was when that was a freaking pay-to-win thing that you couldn't do all of the Battle Pass quests unless someone in the game had an Arcana.
Yeah, I remember that. That nice time where you'd have like so many people just drop out if nobody picked PA if they didn't have the Arcana. Good times.
No PA.
And then if the game like wouldn't complete, if they weren't able to get the duel or whatever, God, there was so much other nonsense.
At good times.
Oh yeah.
I think also the I wish they would do more quests for Arcana stuff, but Zeus does have that cool if you kill someone with your ult, that'll also leave the mark on the ground permanently. I think that's the coolest feature.
They've got something like that for Juggernaut also, I feel like.
Does he?
For if you get an Omni slash kill. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's like different animations. I don't think it actually leaves anything.
No?
Like, well, not for like the entire game. That's the thing I don't like about the PA dagger. It's like
that is forever.
She gets first blood, and that's sitting there 70 minutes later.
You got to look at that embarrassment for the entire game.
Yeah. Maybe I should have picked a better support. Something that doesn't just roll over in 2 hits.
2 hits, 1 dagger. Doesn't feel good.
Nobody said anything about a dagger. I wish it was a dagger in 2. That's asking too much. Think I have bracer money? You crazy, man.
Got to try that Aeon disc out. Protect you for 2 seconds. Maybe 2
yeah, we haven't seen any of that. I think it's going to be pretty situational for who, if ever, would be picking that up.
You think anybody's actually going to get one like the entire series? Because like ever since 7.07 came out, I don't think I've seen anybody get it. Not even just like thumbing through streams or anything.
I feel like on people like Dazzle or Abaddon, people that need to go a little bit further to the nth degree of how far they can push their HP, that would be the people you'd want to get the item on.
All right.
It also synergizes with increasing in the new perk system with status resistances and durations and stuff. So that's the newer mechanic that Dota's been trying out, and that item is the one to really put it at the forefront. So I guess, like, I don't know, really heavy stun teams.
You mean like the dream that everybody talks about, but then they draft like maybe a slow, maybe a silence, and then they wonder why they can't catch all these pucks and quaps dancing around, stuff like that?
Stuns win games. That's the motto.
That's what they want you to. That's what they want you to believe. That's what everybody says in the pubs, but can't say that's what we've been seeing thus far. We've seen a few, but we've been seeing like a lot of mobile lineups.
Yeah, the Queen of Pain is just like. Did she take the fear talent in the game last night?
Yes, she did.
I feel like I didn't see it like to that much of an effect. I didn't see a lot of feared people running around.
It's subtle.
Yeah.
And it's only 1.5 seconds.
Right, so it's really short.
And
that
speaking
double
of which,
Lincolns, though, is kind of very tempting as well. It's hard to decide between the two. I guess that's the whole point.
Something that I didn't realize about the Aeon disc, and it's subtle.
Why are we still on here?
Because while you're in that 2.5 second buff of being where your health is under 80%, it's all damage you deal and are dealt is reduced to 0. So you can't hurt anyone over that time frame either.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty common thing. That's why. Yeah, that's why when we were talking about it yesterday.
So it's really only if you're doing safety spells.
Yeah, that's why I was bringing up yesterday the ideas of like one of the first heroes that people brought up was like maybe Axe would get it, but the big problem is like sure you blink in and you get like 3-man, 4-man call, but spins don't do anything.
What about Wraith King?
Really, bro?
I don't know about Wraith King because like he's another one of those heroes that wants to just deal massive amounts of damage,
and he also kind of wants to die a little bit.
Yeah, at some point. I don't know. That's tricky. What's cool about the item is that it is the only way to get status resistance as a non-strength hero. Can only get it through Aeon Disc. So if you really want status resistance, you have to buy one if you're not a strength hero.
I don't know if that's been like, or that's going to be a big thing. I mean, sure, turning like 3 seconds of stun into like 2.5 or however much sounds cool and all, but how important is it at the end of the day? You get stunned, you're done. So.
Yep. Yeah, it's very situational.
Stuns are, I guess more importantly, silences, because those tend to be like the longer duration things, like your 6 and 8 second silences and all.
Did Drow officially get her 8-second silence now that Reddit complained?
I think so. There was a couple small fixes of bug fixes, if I'm not mistaken.
So funny. Updating
I don't know what the thing that everyone was complaining on Reddit about recently, though.
That's always something, man.
I saw some crazy thing about Bat Rider, like if he's lassoing someone and then the new Pangolier is rolling into them, it just keeps hitting them over and over and over, and they can't actually be bumped. I don't know if that got fixed. Sadly, we won't see that in this tournament, as they're not in Captain's mode. For a good reason.
So that exploit that we mentioned yesterday about the magic stick being able to be built out of that mango branch random to gold was patched out. Yeah.
Good.
Rest in peace, randoming.
No, I mean, it's still there, but that means like people like Sky who again want to ruin my games and want to get the small gains that they can get, cut that out. You're done. You just take your mango and your branch straight up and you try to take whatever one of the 10 heroes you got and you play the same game of Dota as everybody else.
There's a new health bar status that exists now.
Really?
Banished. It's for astral imprisonment and disruption.
That's pretty cool. I did not know that.
So we just got a UI update for that.
Very important update.
I'd say so.
I now know that I am banished.
I'm still interested in one of the hot topics that's been coming up lately is getting a UI for runes. Like if somebody has like double damage or arcane.
Oh, it'll say it over your head?
No, like they don't have one yet, but there was like a game earlier this week where one of the big things was a Mirana with a pretty blue set picked up a DD and
oh wow.
Yeah, just lit somebody up and the casters are like, well, I'm pretty sure nobody knew she had DD because
right.
She's literally just this blue thing on a tiger.
Just the power effects go crazy.
Yeah. So maybe that'll be somewhere in the near future as well. That's something that when I heard about it, I was like, I never thought about it, but it'd be pretty useful, more so than banished.
It's definitely crazy when I think I saw that happen in a game last night. Someone was hitting like a machine, just dropping people. And I was like, how is that possible? And then you look a little bit closer and you just see that little blue animation floating around on them. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yo, man, I keep peeking over. I see there's one empty slot in the lobby. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, there is.
We're
waiting on one more, it looks like.
We're getting closer and closer to this amazing game. Leviathan versus Mind's Eye. First round upper bracket. The winner will advance and the loser will be knocked down to the lower bracket.
Now, Silver, remind me, according to you, it might not be a problem for somebody in the lower bracket because some people like being in the lower bracket, right?
I do believe that. I mean, that's what I said yesterday about Liquid. So sometimes, I mean, and then take for another example. You have, I believe it was TI, I want to say 5, right? That was when EG won versus
yes.
CDEC.
I can't tell you who they beat, but I can tell you they won.
I believe it was CDEC, but oh no! I have it backwards. I think CDEC went all the way through the top bracket, and like nobody could touch them. And maybe it was EG that crawled through the bottom. Yeah, I think I have it.
You still make it.
I don't know. We're talking about history that is not something committed to my memory, unfortunately.
Well, not even that. Like the big point that you're making is that. Like,
I basically disproved my point with that story.
No matter what you're saying is that, like, let's pretend that's right, okay? And let's say EG like clawed through the lower bracket the entire way. You don't understand how hard it is for me to call it lower. Anyways, they clawed all the way through the lower bracket. You make it sound like they wanted to be there.
I mean, obviously, no one ever wants to be on the brink of elimination, but like it. I must have been reading some interview with Kuroki where he was talking about how like when they got knocked down to lower at TI this year, it like he was yelling at the team and not like angry yelling, but just being like, guys, like we can't, like we're so close, we have to do this. And they like that motivation, he just like got them all to play on point. And I mean, they're TI champs now. They're in the history books permanently. So
you just gotta get hype.
You gotta get hype.
Getting
and sometimes
loud
getting
is
knocked
not
down will
necessarily being mad.
Yeah.
True.
Point proven is me.
Don't get mad.
I'm a loud person.
Right.
All right. So I think we're about to get started. Very close.
And we've got.
I see 10 bodies in here.
In here.
10 bodies, just enough for a Dota game. Again, this is the 2017 Blood in the Streets Americas Championship, brought to you by firstblood.io. And we have Leviathan versus Mind's Eye in round 1, upper bracket. And we will be
I'm ready for
shortly.
this. It's day 2 action. I'm ready.
Day 2. We're ready. We're ready to go.
I'm fiending for it.
I want to see this draft, boys. Drafting is the heart of Dota.
I wish I had been keeping up on BSJ's stream more recently to see what he's been practicing. If I could have already had some expectations of if anything crazy could be coming out from him.
Well, since you say like lately, I'm gonna assume you've watched some of his streams ever, right?
This is correct.
Okay.
This is correct.
I'm not gonna front. I'm a fraud. I haven't kept up with him at all. So enlighten me. Like, what are some of his favorite heroes? Like, what are his signature heroes, if you will?
Back when I was watching, it was all about Slark. Because that was a hero that I didn't understand.
No, you ain't gonna see that guy. Everybody says he's in a coffin. Next. Slark. Keep going, sorry.
I mean, that was the big one that always shined out for me. It was the BSJ Slark.
Yeah, people have been saying Slark is just like, forgotten at sea. I don't know why, because
I think the other carries that you would be seeing him at would most likely be like Lifestealer, Ursa's, and I'm not going to say that just because he has them on his profile picture, but more of that. Those are some of the better options right now.
Well,
the profile picture is bait. That's how you trick your opponents.
Right.
That's it. Yeah.
Quicksilver backing up though, like Slark, like as of late, your carries have been wanting to be ones that either come online quickly or they can flash farm very well. Two things that Slark doesn't really do too greatly. I mean, if he's farming heroes, he's awesome, but like if he's playing from behind, I mean, what is he going to do? But the big thing like now in 7.07 is that H word, right? Good old Hex.
Yep.
Remember what happened to that?
Yeah, I mean, Hex, that could be the reason that you're not seeing Slark. Just that fact alone that you can't dispel Hex is insanity. Scary. Like you pick Rasta, you pick Lion, you know, have a core, farm up that very expensive sheepstick. You're done.
Abaddon used to be so good against Lion and Shaman, and
now it's like a hard counter.
I wanted to blow you up so hard for mentioning Bad Don DZ, and we're talking about Slark, but it's like, wait, this is actual NA Dota. I have to let this rock for once.
I mean, Abaddon does happen in NA Dota.
Yes, a lot. And yeah, he's it's another victim to the good old Hex buff, if you will.
Yep. So it looks like we're about to get started, guys. This is Leviathan versus Mind's Eye. Round 1, upper bracket, bringing you into the draft phase. Good luck, have fun to both teams, and we'll see who comes out alive of Game 1. All right.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Ban 1, we see Razor has already been removed by Mind's Eye. What do you guys think about Razor's new talent? Or his new passive?
I, myself, haven't really noticed it, but I haven't really seen too many Razors, because he's one of those heroes where it's like, who really wants to play him just like having fun in a pub? Not a whole lot of people. Where do you normally see him? When somebody's trying to make some big money. Watching him in the games yesterday, or really the game yesterday, the new Unstable Current didn't really stand out to me, but it also isn't like the big thing that crosses my mind when I think about Razor. It's still like the whole anti-carry potential of Static Link. So I myself am going to have to take a couple more looks at it, maybe a harder look if he comes up later on tonight, and see like how much damage it really does, or really
I think
how
it's
much
subtle.
disruption.
It's really subtle if you're looking at it, because if you're not dealing with these characters that are going to be using all of the magic immunity, then you're going to be okay. To expand on that, is because Purge goes through magic immunity, so with that automatic every 5-second random AoE Purge happening, the damage isn't that substantial, but the 40% slow and dispelling positive buffs, I think those two things are. And we've seen a lot of drums coming out. So imagine if a team procs drums, Razor runs in, he gets a Purge off on just one of the heroes, and then that hero has been left behind.
Oh dear.
We got the guy. He's been picked.
He got left on the table. Oh man.
Even nerfed. Very terrifying proposition having a Beastmaster.
Winter Wyvern.
Getting in some Winter Wyvern as well, which we saw a lot yesterday, and it's because of that night vision value, or that's so we say.
10 seconds remaining.
Because Spirit Breaker was removed from the game, and they're going to have a good bit of the ability to see on a global scale from Mind's Eye because of the Hawk.
Radiant team ban.
Another benefit you would get out of Winter Wyvern is actually the Splinter Blast, going against Beastmaster, you know, breaking up the gang of creeps and everything, the boars, if the Hawk's hanging around there, which is probably not, and whatever random neutral that he pulls out of his pocket. So it's pretty solid pick to go around with the Nature's Prophet and a Jakiro.
A lot of push.
Yeah,
a lot of push.
It's a serious push strat already. Like, they've shown their hand. They want to end this game fast.
Well, Winter Wyvern does well against push because of the Splinter Blast, and Nature's Prophet able to summon a good bit of push his own and has a global presence behind him. A lot of flexibility right now from what Leviathan has.
Yeah, Leviathan is a little more mysterious. I mean, you're going to assume that the Natures will just be off lane.
5
But
seconds
the
remaining.
function of what their draft is going to do is still to be determined. Banning out the Storm Spirit there.
Yeah, because even if they start in one place early on, the actual
Radiant
movement for
team
their
back.
strategy behind it is going to be a far more active thing.
Right, exactly. Now,
Dire
if they're
team
trying for
back.
an all-in push on Mind's Eye, they're not going to be able to complete that if they're just getting picked off left and right by numbers advantages. So vision is going to be super important for Leviathan on their making sure that they're making rotations and ratting when they can and then stopping pushes when they think they
10
can take a fight.
seconds remaining.
Strong mids being banned out by Leviathan.
5 seconds
So
remaining.
this kind of makes me think. I'm not sure what kind of a mid hero they're going to be thinking of yet.
They just don't want any Kayas in this game. That's what it is.
Kaya
that's what
has
I
been
heard.
banned officially by
Radiant
Leviathan.
team pick.
And a Viper gone as well. So that's leaving what common mids would you see? Queen of Pain.
Yeah, Quap's still in
leaves,
the pool. Puck's been banned already as well, so a lot of
We saw a
bans
lot of
going towards.
We saw a lot of TA yesterday, so it's another thing to
10
consider.
seconds
But
remaining.
TA's sort of off the table, at least for Leviathan, because you can't
5
pick TA
seconds
into a
remaining.
Jakiro. They'll send the Jakiro mid, and you're just deleted for the most
Now,
part.
just because we saw the carry,
Dire team
or
pick.
I guess mid Jakiro core yesterday, doesn't mean that we would be so inclined to see it today. He would definitely be spending time harassing that out, though, nonetheless.
Right.
And you want to talk about heroes that aren't really the strongest to put against Double Dragon. Well, Treant Protector falls into
10
that because
seconds
even
remaining.
though Living Armor is so good, it's easy to break it down with the dual breath and the
5
liquid fire.
seconds
So
remaining.
maybe Leviathan isn't really worried about Jakiro so far. Well, on the lighter end.
You know, as we're getting into this next pick here for Mind's Eye, I was gonna see.
Earth
Dire
Spirit,
team
yeah, I like that.
An insta-locked Terrorblade.
You know, I think playing Terrorblade into an Earth Spirit can be pretty dangerous with the amount of burst magic damage coming out.
It's very risky. I mean, just look at every single one of those heroes in the enemy team has lockdown. I
10
to like
seconds
Mind's Eye looks
remaining.
at that pick and they say, they might kind of laugh and be like, we
5
can kill the
seconds
Terrorblade. We
remaining.
definitely can. That is a risky pick, I think, on Leviathan's part.
The ability to go late, the split push, the scare factor of the rotations is certainly there from Leviathan. Treant Protector off invisible. Winter Wyvern comes in off an Arctic Burn. Follow up with a TP from Nature's Prophet. They can make it seem like there's only one person in the lane and make it be 3 or more very quickly.
Yeah, that happens throughout the entire game too. So that gives Terrorblade a little more prowess if he's just like seemingly off on his own, split pushing mid game, late game. Maybe with a Wyvern behind him, Nature Prophet shows up with the flank.
I just had a little bit of a thought. I'm
What's
wondering if... Now, I know Anti-Mage is nerfed. I still think he's powerful. He can get like a 13-minute Battle Fury in this patch and just go to town on people.
Okay.
I'm wondering if the Terrorblade pick was sort of a preemptive, like, come at me, bro. Go ahead and pick AM. Because Terrorblade is the answer to Anti-Mage, more or less.
Why is that?
Well, he just casts Reflection, and then the Anti-Mage hits himself, runs himself out of mana, and then he's basically just a melee
It's the
creep.
worst thing ever.
Yeah.
I've played 1v1s where for some reason I was Anti-Mage and for some reason they were Terrorblade. And, you know, I was acting pretty cocky just because of skill disparity between myself and who I was playing with. And then
Skill disparity, right.
Terrorblade ends up pushing my face in because I have no mana and I'm just pressured out of the lane every single time.
10 seconds left on reserve time. They need to make a decision over at Mind's Eye. 5 seconds.
Radiant team back.
Faceless Void.
Something else also jump in with the Earth Spirit, sets up Jakiro.
It's a beautiful combo. Faceless Void and Jakiro. Like, there couldn't be more synergy between two ultimates, besides maybe Invoker
10
Sunstrike.
seconds remaining.
It's really nice, those two heroes put together.
Sonic
5
Wave is
seconds
also a
remaining.
nice combo. There's a lot that you can throw into a Chronosphere, let's be real.
Is this Quap going to be banned, or is she going to be left in the pool?
Pop would work really well with Mind's Eye right now.
Yeah, I feel like that's the ban. We saw the raw strength of it
Invoker's
last
still
night.
in the pool too.
Yeah, and I'm curious if someone on either team will take Invoker. Those are probably the two strongest mids that there are that are still in the pool, unless I'm missing something obvious.
Do you really want to run Invoker on Leviathan though? Because
That's too slow of a team, I think.
yeah, it's like that's too slow, and then he's also a target sitting in the mid lane.
Well, there's someone I forgot about. OD is strong.
What do you mean forgot about? I just told you that they added a UI
Oh, yeah, the
interface for
the
that
manage.
specifically.
Yep, that's true.
See, that's how much time it took for you to forget about him.
Yeah,
Goodbye.
literally.
Gone.
A whopping
10
3
seconds
minutes.
remaining.
Last band's going to be
5
coming out
seconds
for
remaining.
Mind's Eye.
And presumably another mid, unless they want to try to throw a curveball and have like a dual lane mid with a Terror Blade, or try to send Nature's Prophet
Dire
mid.
team pick.
Timbersaw, interesting. So they might want a melee middle. 'Cause
Possible.
Timber's one of the best versus melee mids.
Timbersaw is just a good thing to have when you're dealing with a
10
Tramp
seconds
Protector.
remaining.
That's true.
So they banned it though, which
5
makes me just think
seconds
question
remaining.
marks.
I think it's going to be a melee mid.
Radiant team pick.
Oh no, it's the Invoker.
I mean,
That's a
you were
strong
looking
team.
for him. You
Yeah.
called it. There it is. Another catalyst for the Chronosphere. Actually, we'll have a lot of things to set up Sunstrike if you think about it. Beastmaster Roar,
10
or
seconds
just
remaining.
if Earth Spirit can find Wyvern or Treant Protector or Terror Blade
5
early
seconds
on.
remaining.
Might be a little harder for the Prophet, but it's still a thing as well. So, yeah.
Now,
A lot of
Leviathan
things
has- They have a lot of time left.
Oh, yeah.
What do you guys think? Will we see the Queen of Pain? Other mids that can go against Invoker easily?
Yeah, I'm trying to think through this because they need something that has some sort of finesse that they can deal with the Chrono.
Choose your hero.
Are you dealing with the Chrono? How about throwing something
Leap.
of your own? Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Leap to get away from
leap
it.
out. I was thinking they needed something in mid that had an escape but could capitalize on people being stuck in the space-time continuum.
Yeah, that's a pretty good answer right there.
Oh my god,
Getting
look how
a-
beautiful that Tree Protector set is.
You call that beautiful?
Oh yeah. It's got the
I
Happy
just want
Tree
the-
Friends on top.
Yeah, but the red Happy Tree friends. That's
Oh,
the ones
those
that
are terrifying.
important. Yeah, something of nightmares.
So there we have it. We have our teams. We have a pushy ganking wombo combo set on Mind's Eye, and then it looks like Leviathan's looking more to
10
secure
seconds
the
remaining.
late game.
I'm seeing split push in late game from
5
Leviathan.
seconds
I agree.
remaining.
They have good protection. I mean, if a Tree Protector can get away with it, he can keep towers alive infinitely. But versus
Well, when-
Jakiro, I don't think that's going to happen.
So Jakiro does throw a pretty big curveball in, but when you couple in Cold Embrace with the Treant Protector heal, you could bring someone up to max HP almost immediately.
Very quick.
But how often do they really have to fight? I mean, as long as they get the lead and they're able to control the tempo, like, how often will they really need both of those heals, you know? Like, I think a lot of it is going to come down to if Leviathan can get a lead in the lanes and maintain it so they can keep control of the pace of the game.
So here we go. Game 1, Mind's Eye versus Leviathan. Good luck, have fun, boys.
Word.
Thank you, Quicksilver, for the draft panel discussion for us here. Sunstrike coming out just to get a little bit of scouting out on
Prepare
Leviathan
for
here,
battle.
and we're right on into the mix. We're going to have BSJ leading us out on Terrorblade in the bottom lane, Nushim on the Treant Protector. Now, Master Kenchiko, I hear, goes by Slayer. Like, that's what he's known as, so I'll do my best to recall that, but no promises as it goes on. Flyby will be on Marana for us, and we're going to round things out with Monkeys Forever on Nature's Prophet.
All right, well, over on the Dire side, making sure they had the top rune and maybe getting a little bit of gold from the tree. We got Masera on the Void, Lil Pump with the Earth Spirit, Fuzzy Sloth with the Invoker, Baba Ganoush with the Jakiro, and on the bottom by himself for right now is Oscar with the Beastmaster. some simple scouting, going out, getting a couple of defensive wards coming out of Mind's Eye, saying that they really want to make sure that their Void gets a solid early start.
Yeah, we see a lot of movement here from Monkeys Forever, just trying to figure out the positioning of the enemy team, what sort of safety net he's running on, and also these Treants are going to be used to try and disrupt this bounty rune here, as we got a little bit of a skirmish here, mostly just a Treant versus Faceless Void battle. Invoker's going to get that rune and go right to the mid lane, where he'll be able to get good creep block. And BSJ got both of the bounty runes on the bottom, so he's going to have a nice lead looking out off of it.
More so up top here, you were talking about disrupting the bounty. It's more about the free damage, because, yo, check out Lil Punk. He's already missing half a bar because of the Treants and a couple of right clicks coming out of Monkeys Forever.
So, as this game is panning out, I'm feeling like there's going to be a lot of action going on in the bottom lane, because we already have a TP out from Oscar. Back just to his tier 2 tower, salving up in the lane, coming back in now. And with that, we're going to see a rotation from the Treant Protector up to the top lane. Monkeys Forever in a little bit of a bad situation, getting rolled on by Lil Pump. The fire from Baba Ganoush, overwhelming. He was not going to go down, though.
Nah, he's all right. They're going to actually bring the tri-lane up here. Okay. Going to leave BSJ down here, mano-y-mano against Oscar.
Well, I think that's okay at the early levels. Once those boars get up in, it's going to be a little bit more difficult.
And I mean, the one lane we haven't talked about yet is the middle lane, which, if you look at the last...
Nusha, though, top lane, he's going down. Nature's Geist is not going to be able to save him here. They already had the dust, but the Arctic Burn, well played by Slayer, able to distribute amongst the enemy, slowing him out, but Lil Pump taking it in.
Soft they are.
But I mean, the name of the game so far is all Leviathan, taking up the first, second, and third position on the net worth chart. They're really bringing it home. Even the supports are doing so good. Nusham up here was pushing the Void back a little bit. Couldn't really get too much damage, but giving Monkeys Forever just a little more space to work with.
Well, there he goes. Another whack and a root. Knowing the time walk's off cooldown, not going to be able to do much there. Or on cooldown. And you know, the more I think about this Beastmaster against the Terror Blade, I'm thinking about it, and the Wild Axes does this damage amplification on each hit, so it could scale up to being something substantial, but it's unrealistic to think that he's going to go heavy in that early on. There's a lot more value from the Call of the Wild.
Yeah, get more vision to see if anybody wants to come gank him, because I mean he's doing okay down here on the Beastmaster. Oscar, he's not getting pushed out, mainly because nobody's here to like really give him the worst day of the world, but he's putting up a front in front of BSJ. He's disrupting the farm a little bit, not letting him have free
top lane. Sunstrike off the mark. Monkeys Forever gonna go down. Lil Pump cleaning that up. A lot of harassment out there and just way too much damage over time. And Treant Protector doesn't have living armor yet. The only salvation will be from Leech Seed.
Yeah, while you were checking that out, I almost jinxed Oscar, which was my bad. He's back at his shrine right now, but he was like less than 100 HP away, had the TP away from an Arctic Burn and Metamorphosis, which that's going straight into a bottom tower right now. So lucky to get away with his life, but don't know how much damage this tower is going to take down here. Probably going to be a nice quarter of a bar, if you will. But mid
is getting flexed on right now. Lil Pump wanted to get some kills in on that, and you know, Flyby was just like, all right, you can jump in on me and dive. I've got leap. I'm not scared.
He didn't even really use the leap until he was getting away from the Sunstrike at the end, but it was just I guess he had to use one for the extra attack speed. But again, that's what I was talking about earlier. Just what is Mind's Eye going to do about this middle lane? Like, Flyby just got too far ahead, and I thought like maybe they'd be able to make some space for
Got the rolling order top lane now on Monkeys Forever, forced out of position. A lot of fire damage coming out on here. Tried to go for the Sprout, able to connect. Sunstrike does not ice wall off the mark.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Nusham is here ready to help out Monkeys Forever. Gonna be able to slap Lil Pump around him just a little bit. That'll be enough to get him out of there. And actually, they're turning in on Nusham now. He could just TP. That is an option at any point in time, but he's fighting him out right now. He's stunned.
He could TP, but he didn't because he didn't know Baba Ganoush. Right, he might not have looked. Baba Ganoush didn't have the mana for Ice Path. He might not even know he has Ice Path. So it's one of those things where we know all the information, not so much for the players. It be like that sometimes.
If you can.
Time is certainly on Leviathan's side. BSJ almost up to 4,000 net worth. Having a pretty free lane right here against the Beastmaster. And I'm not going to say that this is surprising, because it's not. He's got so much armor. He can trade hits so well. Look at him, standing at 20 armor.
And not only that, like, nobody's been able to come down here and help Oscar. They've been trying to salvage the middle lane. They've also been trying to make sure that their top lane is as secure it can be. So, like you said, it's no surprise that this glyph is getting forced out on the bottom. BSJ just kind of putting on a clinic for us with this Terror Blade.
Level 4 Metamorphosis is pretty terrifying. This tower is melting. We've got Nushim off in the tree line, scouting out if anything bad could be coming awry, and we've got Slayer here too, except it seems to be a little bit of a support trade here. Slayer trying to go up to the high ground. Is he going to save himself? No, it doesn't look it.
Space. Space, my friend. That's all that was.
100%. 100%.
What have we here?
Flyby shooting an arrow off at that arcane rune, anticipating the movement. Lil Pump able to get that. He'll roll away. A-okay.
Yeah, Pump's taking a couple of runes away from Flyby. He got, I think it was a 4-minute regen rune on top of taking that arcane as well, but that hasn't been the biggest detriment to Flyby at all, like we've pointed out.
Chrono coming out top lane, Monkeys Forever taking it in the face, Sunstrike connecting as well, Roar follow-up, Oscar's not letting him get away from this one, he summons all of his minions, but it's not going to be enough.
No.
The Moonlight Shadow out, perfect timing with when that Chrono had ended. Monkeys Forever is going to be A-okay.
The kill they could have been, but yes, one of the things that happens early on in the game, you know, you're looking gank against Mirana. Nobody wants to
Monkeys Forever coming on in on it. He's going to get the Ice Path off onto Starstorm following up. Also, Baba Ganoush, very low. A couple more right clicks would be what will seal the deal on him. 9 HP, he walks away. Splinter Blast just clearing up creeps, and geez, this is another good fight going for Leviathan. They're dictating a lot of movement out of Mind's Eye. It's kind of like how we were saying earlier, how it's a split push team, but there could be a couple people joining the fight out of vision very quickly. And that's just something that you have to be able to respond to very frequently, realistically.
Hey, you got a Treant Protector that can just show up out of nowhere if there's no sentries. Winter Wyvern can cut in from crazy angles. Mirana can as well, although it's a little more specific for her. Prophet just TPs in when it feels like, so Mind's Eye has to be ready on all fronts. Lil Pump over here, snatching another rune. Gonna roll away from the scene of the crime.
Faces Void went for the classic double stout shield build. The replacement to Poor Man, I guess, in some sense. That's almost a throwback too, yeah.
Yeah, I typically see that on axes, but again, that's nothing I really see very often in my games, if ever. Oh, middle lane.
Oh no, that's a bottom lane.
Bottom, excuse me.
Bottom lane, they got that kill off on him without much real effort, because in the top lane it's BSJ pressure in the tower, so that's where all their attention is. And although he was focusing on a tier 1, it's all back in on this tier 2 that we've got this squad of 3 rolling out on. And with this siege creep here, they're going to be able to get a lot of damage, if not the full tower out.
Nobody's coming to this. This tower is theirs. They really can.
Top lane, they're trying to get a consolation prize out of it. They've got Slayer. Used the Roar committed on him as well. Baba Ganoush landing out the Ice Path. Plenty of minions to help them clean that up. BSJ gets out. That's all that matters. And that bottom tier 2 is gone.
Yeah, I don't know if tier 2 for a Wyvern is the trade you want to make, but 11 minutes into the game, we're not
off on Arsker. He just TP'd and walked into it, and there's more chip damage coming off. Over half of the tower damage fallen. And this is largely because of the siege creep and the nonsense that Monkeys Forever is doing here with his trance.
Trance, do you notice what Monkeys Forever have? We haven't talked about items yet. Yeah, you didn't see him just drop the meteor hammer?
I thought I saw something suspicious happening from the sky.
Oh yeah.
Dire's middle tower
Literally
has
bringing the
fallen.
rain on the tier 3, and that thing is, it's basically gone. Like they don't literally need to deny it, but nobody would fault him too much. Yes, they would. But
yeah, let's have it so that the Leviathan can take the shrines.
yeah, that's why
Right
I
now,
started.
that'd be great.
I'm just 12 minutes in. Tier 3 is almost gone. Like, I understand that Leviathan has a push strat, but I didn't think it was that serious. Like 6K net worth in their favor. Like things are looking so good for them right now. They have pretty much all of the map to farm if they want. There's a couple of tier 2s that is detriment in the middle and the top, but that's not a big problem for them because like who's really going to come across and do anything to them unless there's a roar or a chronosphere up? There's not a lot that Mind's Eye can really bring to him.
Looks like Nusham's scouting something out here in the mid lane. Seeing an opportunity for a Faceless Void, perhaps. The attention's being driven back on the Monkeys Forever in the bottom lane. Sunstrike coming out, Macropire too. He's not going to live out of this one. Throws out the Sprout for good measure. The tier 3 has fallen. The objective Monkeys Forever sought, claimed.
Dire's top
Yeah,
tower
meanwhile in
is
the
under
middle lane,
attack.
Nusham, just like you said, was waiting for Flyby to do a drive-by on Masera, picked him up. On the top lane, though, the man that a lot of people are here for, BSJ, trying to get his another tower. I think this would be his third tower. Yeah, I want to say his third tower if he gets this down himself, but he gets his squad to come help him out.
Flyby
Flyby.
taking that last hit off of him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a rotation tax.
I mean, that's a tax well paid because if you're looking at the net worth chart, the 3 positions have not moved. They're nothing but the green Leviathan, and they're pretty far out in front.
Nusham scout out that this Hawk is en route. They know where Beastmaster is because of it. Wouldn't surprise me if, well, more people die elsewhere.
Radiant structures are fortified.
But also that they would rotate in on Oscar now in the mid lane, which is looking like what's going to happen here. Nusham is chasing him down, and BSJ looking to come and assist. There's a reflection, throwing out the Metamorphosis, and this should be a relatively easy kill. Throws out the Roar!
That was a spite roar, dude. Hey.
Literally just yelling at him because he was mad.
Oh man, I don't blame him because Mind's Eye is literally getting stretched thin throughout the entire map. Like they can't get on their feet. Fuzzy Sloth has his Midas, but he's pretty far away from his Ags, so it's gonna be a while before he can fight, if even before the end of the game. Masera just has a Mask of Madness, so like.
I mean, Invoker just sitting on a couple nulls and my favorite item ever. On cooldown, of course, you know.
I said I wasn't gonna try to say anything about you about Midas, but we don't need Midases. We've got an Aegis.
You know, one of the things I really like about the changes into 707 were the illusion changes on Roshan, because it makes it so that heroes like Terrorblade, Phantom Lancer, other illusion-based heroes are able to do Rosh much earlier on than they may have been previously, because they have that value, a little bit extra damage, and they're really just there, able to take a hit.
So you're saying BSJ needed another leg up in this game? Is that what I heard? Dude, 10K at 15 minutes. This is the biggest lead that we've had in Blood in the Streets so far. You think he needs more of a helping hand? Well, they found Nusham, though.
Oh no, Nusham. The Cold Embrace! Not needed.
Winter's
It's
Curse?
the Winter's Curse that's murdering everybody.
Pretty sure that's just taking out Lil Pump, but if you want to call him everybody, feel free.
You know, sometimes you need to go for glory. And maybe he is the everybody. If he's keeping the attitude of everybody together, sometimes you only have to crush the spirit of one person on the enemy team in order to take him by the throat.
I think this is a 3-person show at this point, because even if you take down one of the cores, Leviathan has, to some degree, has been throwing bodies just to distract people, kind of like what's happening in the bottom lane.
Yeah, they're going on Monkeys Forever. The axes are going to clear out all the trees, and they're continuing in on the chase. able to throw out a Sprout. Shadows are taking him into the moonlight. Sunstrike going to be off the mark. Monkeys Forever proving that invisibility equals invincibility.
More importantly, though, check out the top lane where there was a tier 3 tower, because as soon as they went for Monkeys Forever, there was pings and rotations to the top. Racks knocked off the map. Well, at least the range racks. Melee, they have another day.
So Monkeys Forever in that fight also got a Blink Dagger that he'll be able to couple with his Meteor Hammer for some flexing that we're seeing right now as he just smashes down on those ranged racks. Now, he might pay for his life here because we have the Primal Roar from Oscar here, except he got what he wanted. That building has been taken. Lil Pump coming in, kick off the mark, flyby, throwing out a Starstorm, does a lot of damage here. Actually, they might be able to turn this around. Lil Pump real low. He's going to go down, flyby, hitting that killing spree. And in the mid lane, we've got the Chronosphere out on 2. Sarah trying to get Slayer out of this. The Sunder from BSJ, helping his ally. Building a little bit of space, and, you know, he has the Aegis, so he's not too concerned. But Lil Pump's trying to get something out of this. He's rolling out, just kicking him away for good measure.
Doing whatever he can to save his tier 3. Or what little bit is left is just getting Meteor Hammered again. But yeah, like, this is like the least amount of kills that we've had at this point.
Oh, got another Meteor Hammer in mid! Oh, he got hit by the
3 seconds, hold that.
Alright, Nasera's there. Minushim using the overgrowth to try and help Monkeys Forever. He's gonna go down though. That was optimistic, but I would have... Yes, I fully endorse.
But yeah, this is like a complete change of pace from what we had yesterday. Like, not a lot of kills going on, but objective gaming. That's what we talk about here. And
for the longest time, I was thinking, who the hell do you get Meteor Hammer? And in what context are you actually going to be able to channel and use this thing?
Yo, when you're trying to make that, when you're trying to get that early dinner, that's what it is. Trying to see if you can get a quick bite before you go to bed.
That's speaking mildly.
Oh, man.
I mean, think about how much damage the Meteor Hammer is doing to these buildings. 75 on impact, with an additional 50 over time.
That's a pretty good chunk. I mean, it's not going to just take the tower by itself, but, you know, bit by bit, something worth noting.
It's basically the cost of the mana for it. So you get a 1-for-1 trade of the mana for damage on building.
Man, I give it all to Mind's Eye for trying to stay into this game, because I imagine that some of them are kind of frustrated right now with how this has panned out.
You forget, we've got Midas Gaming on their side. Invoker is going to be able to get the gold to get return on investment on those gloves.
Dude, what's a Midas going to do if you don't have a base to defend? Come on.
I mean, he could have Inner Peace if he's surrounded by gold, right?
I think you lose it all when the game is over. You don't get to take that to game 2. I'm sorry that nobody's told you that.
All right, I can be optimistic.
I respect that.
Yeah, Oscar's just doing the best he can, throwing out his Hawk to keep vision up on the map, using his Alpha Wolf, Boar, and whatever other neutral he'll summon just to try and get a little bit of farm of his own. Slayer killing off those creeps that he had loved so much.
Yeah, Mind's Eye is kind of scared because like the only vision that they have out on the map is on the top side past the stairs, so they have no clue that Leviathan is just farming the map, waiting for the next roast, which could spawn in 2 minutes. So might be a 25-minute game if things go the way of Leviathan, but they're gonna have to see if they can. I don't want to say sneak a roast, but they've got to make sure to get the good position, good vision around there to spot out the void, because that's the one thing that can just turn this entire game around right now. Just a solid Chronosphere.
I was about to ask you if for some reason Leviathan, just Team Leviathan, was able to play on turbo mode and Mind's Eye wasn't, but I realized that that doesn't make any sense.
And nobody's trying to play turbo mode, let's be real.
So Tree also has a hammer, and
really?
He can cast that from Invis.
Really? Yo!
He's just casting the Meteor Hammer from Invis onto the creep wave and staying in the trees, and it doesn't break the invisibility. This is really clever. I like it. Oh, Lil Pump's found him, though. They're going in on him. The Ice Path, the Meteor, the Creeps, the Roar even!
And as soon as they do that, check the middle lane. Monkeys Forever, braving the wild, just TP straight to the base.
We've got the ultimate coming out on the Faceless Void, but he undoes the damage. Sunstrike going to connect on Monkeys Forever. He's going to go down. Ice Path also, using the disarm. He's dead. Sarah's getting some cleanup off this, and we've got the call. Push all the lanes. Thank you, Lil Pump. Let's do it.
Most importantly, though, when Monkeys Forever, when he teleported in, he didn't get his Meteor Hammer off. I mean, there was no way for him to do that. So there was nothing gained from that at all. Nothing was really lost because it's not like Mind's Eye is going to be able to push the lanes out too far. But we're still basically at the same spot, waiting for this roast to come up. There's a Hawk checking it out. So
we didn't comment that they've got like this Tinker Ward on the bottom lane because of both Nature's Prophet and Tram Protector. Oh wow, Oster's getting shredded here. That extra leap attack speed really showing its face. Monkeys Forever comes in as a little bit of good measure, has to blink back.
So they just killed the Beastmaster, and there is no chrono. Green light to go mid?
For free. And it's this DD damage, you can't even tell! She's just doing so much! All those arrows! He used a smoke to break the projectile animation!
I buy that.
So they're taking in on this tier 3. They've got the racks ready to go. Throwing out an EMP. BSJ taking it like a champ. They've got the Sprout for vision for now. Sentry Ward getting locked out. BSJ doesn't want them to have any of that vision. That's an arrow hitting from downtown on Fuzzy Slop. Hammer number 1 going down. Hammer number 2 also. Nushin with a great overgrowth in on 3. Meteor, Roar, Echo. There's so much going on BSJ. They've got the Cold Embrace on him. They want to heal him up.
Yo, he lives?
He lives.
He lives?
He got the Sunder off also. He is absolutely murdering everyone.
Boys, what a game that was. Meteor Hammer truly did steal the show.
That's MVP, all right? It's not Team Leviathan. Well, I guess it is technically Team Leviathan, but my MVP for that game is Meteor Hammer.
So Meteor Hammer was picked up at 11 minutes 7 seconds by Monkeys Forever.
All right. When did Nusham get his?
His was later.
I
like
know that much. He was a Treant Protector.
17 minutes. And that was after his medallion.
Huh.
Let's take a peek. Let's see how much damage to buildings that Monkeys Forever managed to do.
Do you really want to look at this?
Just a little curious. Well, surprisingly enough, BSJ was really the I guess not surprisingly,
that's
Terrorblade.
That's the expectation. Let's be real.
But the rest of the damage.
I mean, you're not going to see that much damage coming from a tree usually.
Well,
tree isn't spending time thwacking buildings.
Well, I mean, also you have to remember that a lot of Leviathan strategy was distraction. So the main person who was running distraction was Monkeys Forever in the early in the mid game. Like he would just pop in somewhere, he would just show up in a lane, and you'd see like 3 or 4 bodies on top of him. And BSJ, who was maybe sitting in mid, but basically far away from the action, as soon as they saw everybody peace out on his side, he was going clear to the other side of the map, knocking on the door of towers, kicking in racks. So it makes sense that he would have the most, you know?
BSJ had a true Terrorblade game. 1 kill,
Yeah.
2 assists, no deaths. He just farmed all game and took buildings.
Hey.
Sunder wasn't even used that often. It was used to try and help his allies more so than secure kills.
Hey, let's talk about something. We want to say that he helped his allies, but what happened? Think about both the times we commented on it.
Space created.
Yeah, he sunders his Winter Wyvern. Where does the Wyvern go? It's not like the Wyvern.
Winter Wyvern wanders off deeper into the base so that they all chase him. Yeah,
the Wyvern had to feel special in that moment, getting the special treatment from BSJ right there.
It's all for the king.
Just really being the sacrificial lamb,
The meat shield.
sacrificial winter Wyvern ice dog.
It just doesn't seem like Mind's Eye was able to get traction with their push strat, despite having some decent heroes for it, they lost almost every lane. It seemed like.
I would agree with that. Again, it's like mid just started off really slow. Mirana versus Invoker, just the damage disparity, and then when Flyby was able to pick up a couple of kills, especially when he was getting ganked, it was like, how do you salvage that lane? Like, there's nothing that can be really done. But at the same time, it's not like they could go down and help Oscar, who was just getting ran over by BSJ. They had to make sure, or they had to try to make sure that Masera could get as much as physically possible, which, I mean, his lane didn't go horribly, but it didn't go great. So, yeah, like you said, all three lanes just didn't go Mind's Eye way at all.
So what do we think the play of the game is? The Purse.io play of the game.
I told you, it's Meteor Hammer.
Just the hammer. The hammer is the
very first hammer that was dropped.
I mean, that's what we got hype about. But be honest about something. And I mean, if we have to literally pick one play, it's going to be hard. Because what was the entirety of the game? It was split pushing. It was poking down a lane. It was getting somebody to stick their head out first. There was no, like, big grandiose fight that defined everything. There was no, like, big clutch push or anything, or, like, big tower or anything. It's what happened the entire game. Just Leviathan playing chess across the map. The whole play was the whole game. That's what I would say.
Boys, I'm going to bring you up on cameras just as we continue to finish this discussion.
Okay. Sky, could
you say it was basically Leviathan's lineup? They were able to split push everywhere at all times, and Mind's Eye just crumbled under the pressure. They weren't able to get their footing.
It's hammer time.
Hammer time.
I agree with that. Like, they just couldn't put out all the fires.
And, you know, I'm going to throw the pun in again. You can't ban the hammer, but you can ban the profit.
You really think it was the Prophet?
No, it's the hammer. It is the hammer. It is the hammer, okay? I just want to see some Ricky hammer now. Because, I mean, if we've got...
hammer.
Well, because remember, he doesn't cast... Or he doesn't break invisibility to cast spells either.
Rick...
So, I mean, if we're going to do some Meteor Hammer shenanigans on Treant Protector, why not just do it on a Ricky?
Because Ricky would rather get, like, something for killing heroes so he can clear the way for somebody to go use the hammer?
You know, you're thinking far too logically with this. I'm just talking about hammer time.
See, this is why you're still casting, man.
It's not like I'm saying for him to get a Dagon.
Dagon Ricky, that's a thought experiment.
I'm pretty sure by Saturday that'll cross your mind again.
No. We're talking of a completely different time. Not really.
You let me down.
All right, okay. We're talking about a time when Morphling could actually be used as a carry, consistently picked up, and his morph ability was different, and he was able to pop out of combat.
What are you even talking about, dude?
Oh, I'm saying you have teams where your E-Blades are going to be more pronounced, and also have it being an older meta, back when Morphling was good.
All right, you're done. I'm cutting
My
you
goal
off.
is just to try and get you to facepalm every single time I'm brought into one of these discussions.
You guys, you got the update?
Oh, there's another update.
Yeah, Valve is really giving it to us today.
Oh, did they just nerf Meteor Hammer?
Yeah, they watched the game. Meteor
Like,
Hammer was too much.
Let's get that quick thing in there. Yep, just quick patch.
Yeah, I am interested to see how Mind's Eye adjusts their play around what just happened. Because we had originally thought, and maybe that's just us being scrubs, but they it was the opposite of what we thought. The way that I looked at it was
Mind's Eye needed to land everything.
Yeah.
A lot of what we had going on with Leviathan is a click on specific targets and units.
There was a lot of
the objectives.
I think one thing that'll really help out Mind's Eye is if they get a mid that comes online sooner, because I mean, you have
was
both.
greedy.
Yeah, very,
very greedy.
Like, when did he get his axe? Like, that was something that didn't even cross our minds because by the time like he got his axe, if he even got it, both the side lanes had to have been done. But that's far too late when you're talking about Terrorblade kicking in tier 1 towers, when Mirana's blowing up any support that comes in her eyesight. Like, you need to have a mid that can actually take control of the game, move around the map, and threaten the Terrorblade if nothing else, or at least keep up with Nature's Prophet. Like, make a read on when he wants to go for a tower and take him out the game, just to make sure you can hold on to the towers a little bit longer. So I'm thinking the big thorn in their side, or I guess the big Achilles heel, I got to get my right analogy, would be their Invoker. So yeah, maybe, since we like saying Quap, maybe Quap would have been better, but just any faster mid.
Doggy, you hopping in lobby?
I'm getting this update, and then I'm hopping back in.
Beautiful.
And it just finished as soon as you said that.
See, I blessed you with a fast update.
Thank you.
You have been blessed.
You have
quote unquote fast.
Blessing.
You're waiting on me, but it's a fast update. Yeah, right.
So that was game 1 going to Leviathan. We are coming at you very shortly with game 2. Will Leviathan be able to clinch the series and launch Mind's Eye into the lower bracket? We are about to find out.
Will they launch him or will they hammer him in there?
If last game was any indicator, there will be more hammering.
I don't think they'll let them have the same draft for free. I mean, they can't ban everything, but I think they'll pick apart some of the bigger problems.
Right. Maybe either the Terrorblade or the Nature's Prophet, one or the other.
Maybe the Mirana as well, because like, not only, like, I keep talking about how she was able to stand and like fight against anybody that came to her, but they couldn't really go on her because she's 707 Mirana, 3 leaps. So maybe try to leave them with a less mobile mid as well. It's another idea.
Absolutely. Sky, any closing thoughts on last game before we launch into game 2?
I'm just thinking whether or not they're going to put focus on some of those split push heroes to get them banned out or not. And then that's going to open up some of those more aggressive facepalm rolling heroes like Night Stalker, Spirit Breaker, and stuff like that. So I'm hyped. That's it.
All right. And we're about to get going now with the draft.
Dire team ban.
First ban's going to go to Leviathan.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Taking a lot of thought into this. Gonna dip into reserve time a little bit, I think. I wonder what's crossing their mind at this point with the way the last game went, because pretty much everything went right for them. Like, the only thing that even went like any degree of wrong was the second to last put. Well, the last sneak they had where Monkeys Forever tried to sneak in mid, like, and that wasn't a big deal at all.
Right. Yeah, that was like one, and Furion didn't even care. He revived, he came right back, and they just cinched the deal. Yeah,
point being that everything is looking great for Leviathan right now. Well, at least in the last game. So no telling, as they took out an Enchantress, Mind's Eye. Yeah, saying they don't want a different kind of split push coming out, getting rid of the Brood.
Brood Mama. She is definitely very different from what she used to be.
Radiant team ban.
We got the Puck now, banned, and
ban.
then the Beastmaster. if we can't have it, if we can't win with it, we're not going to let you try to beat us with it.
They're not going to even let them try it. Any heroes you want to see in this game, Sandwich?
Don't ask me that. You know I like playing bad here. Well, maybe a
Crystal
Rubik.
Maiden then?
All right, no.
Rubik will work.
I mean, I've said this so many times since like the middle of 707. I love playing Crystal Maiden. That hero is not good. I know better. But I mean, you're asking me in the sense of you want me to say a core, and I play like 2 cores. They're
Radiant
not really
team
strong,
ban.
so you're asking the wrong person. Hey, Silva, who do you want to see in this game, man?
I would like to see a Storm Spirit with the Kaya.
Radiant team pick.
Again?
Yeah, I don't know. It's fun to see them just kind of blast around the map with the massive amount of damage that it enables you to do. Something like a Zeus would be cool, but I don't really think we'll see anything too weird. They want to win. They don't want to just have fun with it. We got the Bane.
I love that we're gonna have Bane.
Yeah. And he's a mystery, right? Like, most likely he will be played as a support. But there's always that sneaky little, could he roam around with like a Madness Shadow Blade and just cause havoc later in the game?
Have you really seen anybody put that much farm priority on Bane? Like, you might have seen a one-off, but it's not a real common thing. Normally, if you see him, that's your vibe. He needs nothing to be a problem. Now, you want to talk about a wild card, talk about Jakiro. Because even though we saw him as the 5 last game, that's a hero that, as of late, and even yesterday, went as far up as the 2 position. Like, he really can just fit in anywhere. Works with absolutely nothing. Does fairly well if you want to try to end the game in, like, the mid-game phase with a little bit of farm. So, a little bit of ambiguity. Not so much with that Brewmaster.
We're looking into an aggressive draft where it's going to be fighting to kill heroes quickly, then translate to objectives after the fact. So it wouldn't surprise me if we're going to see like a Spirit Breaker in this game also.
Out of Mind's Eye? You're assuming he makes it through the second phase?
Yeah, I could see it from Mind's Eye more so than... not unrealistic, though, with them getting rid of the Wyvern.
Yo.
What?
Fat Man Scoop?
Free Pudge hooks for days? Nightmare hook combos?
Fat Man Scoop? Yo.
Alright, this is exciting. Some Pudge hooks. Oh, yeah. This is pretty cool. Alright, so if you're thinking through... So yesterday, our Banes were doing nightmares and then just watching. You think we're actually going to see that right-click Bane happen with Nightmare being cast now that that's a thing that exists?
I get the feeling that Leviathan are the kind of guys to where they've been sitting there grinding their ranked, maybe grinding what's left of FPL. So yeah, they'll probably be up and up on all of the smaller mechanics that add up to a bigger whole at the end of the day. So I don't think we'll have repeats of yesterday while we're wondering why there's so much free damage on the table.
Radiant team pick.
Yo, Silva, why don't you talk to us, man?
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, I know. Silva's just trying to leave us hanging over there, man.
Silva's over there with his side cast.
I'm just in shock that we have a Pudge and a Brewmaster. This is unbelievable. I'm super excited. These are fun heroes.
5 seconds remaining.
They got rid of your Rubik. No chance of the Magician Man coming in on it.
They got rid of a lot of green heroes.
I think they're hating on green specifically.
I mean, did you see what happened in 06? Green was in. It's pretty strong. But I think it's kind of interesting that Leviathan bans the Rubik, and that's kind of a little bit of a green light for Mind's Eye to take the Earthshaker, because even though it's not like the biggest detriment in the world, picking Earthshaker into a Rubik or leaving Rubik on the table for a support, something that you really wouldn't want to happen. Now, I say on the table, we're assuming that this Bane and Pudge is going to be 5 and 4 respectively, but you never know. Maybe somebody's trying to think of mid-Bane, off-lane Bane, that will leave a space open for Rubik.
And a lot of the reason why they got rid of that Rubik is because of the Pudge hook.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to deal with a cast point hook like that.
Yeah. I mean, there's just been a lot of good steals for him.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So what's up with Centaur?
So Centaur is one of the biggest winners right now of both 707 and 707B in terms of win rate and buffs overall. Because if you look at how the new perk system works with strength, Centaur has so much status resistance higher on, coupled with just how he had been buffed objectively through his talents trees, that he is terrifying now. Expanding on that a little more, level 15, he gets plus 75 damage or 15% return strength. Huge boost of double edge damage, and it's just kind of scary.
I mean, normally I would ask one of the default questions of what does he honestly do after the hoof stomp? I know you mentioned all the damage, but one reason why it's looking so good thus far is
he just runs around and is annoying.
Yeah, I mean, if you were playing ranged heroes, would you honestly care unless he could blink in your face? But like something to point out, Mind's Eye, they have a Brewmaster. I mean, sure, he's going to be split for a good majority of the fight, but that's one fight every like minute and a half or so. Earthshaker, he's gonna hit a fissure, and he's gonna need to get in close to do something. Necro, he's gonna be kind of close to Centaur as well. So these are a lot of heroes that are gonna be in the reach of Centaur. So I'm agreeing that the pick is kind of good as well. Just kind of fleshing out the idea of what typically happened to Centaur before as compared to what's happening now.
And I see this Brewmaster ultimate, and then I see Centaur using his ult as an immediate disengage.
Right.
Earthshaker initiation is going to be far more abrupt. So would Necrophos's. They're going to look to try and get these quick fights. Leviathan are not wanting that sort of initiation. And with this Juggernaut pickup now, one of BSJ's top heroes, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, I asked you about this earlier. You didn't say anything about a Jug.
I was looking up on stats as you were like,
whoa,
doing the normal stuff.
You were doing your homework.
I was doing some homework. So BSJ has almost a 70% win rate with Juggernaut in competitive play, with 53 matches.
Yo, run that number by me again.
69.81% win rate, 53 matches.
You could have just stuck me 70, man.
Well, 69 is a cool number too.
Sky.
I'm not pandering, I swear. Though, Necrophos versus Centaur, both of them leading the meta in terms of their strength. Necrophos always really sitting at the top, at least the last few patches. So, Necrophos versus Centaur, it's almost like a battle of the HP pool, since Necrophos does a lot of damage based off of percentage HP.
Right.
Centaur getting that big pool really won't matter overall.
But I mean, they're also going to have to take out the healing ward, and Necrophos, doesn't have really the best base attack time for it. Jakiro doesn't have the range, doesn't really want to be in front. So as long as Leviathan can keep the ward position in a good spot, and that'll help out against Necrophos.
10 seconds remaining.
Death Prophet banned out. Razor removed also.
So what kind of mid are you thinking about for Leviathan? They left the Mirana out there if they want to try that again. And I mean, they have a Bane. So Bane Mirana, Bane Pudge. That sounds pretty good if you ask me.
What I'm wondering right now is whether or not we're going to see some big global game changers or any other ways that Leviathan can scout things out while not sacrificing bodies.
Yeah, their vision isn't good at all, actually.
Yeah. It's going to be a little, curious how they're going to be setting things up and how their tempo is going to be dictated.
Yeah, but at the same time, go ahead, my bad.
Well, I was going to say, because they're going to have the Centaur on the off lane, they're going to need something flashy on mid, and another flyby Mirana.
Whoa, Clyde in the gang?
That's crazy. Last pick, Meepo. Wow. Boys, what do you think of these drafts?
I'm void of words.
That's got to be a mid Meepo. Can that even do anything? Or is it safe lane Meepo? They don't.
I think it's going to be because Macero was playing the safe lane Void last game.
So safe lane Necro.
Safe lane Necro, mid Meepo. Unless they're the kind of people that can switch up their lanes as well.
I'm honestly very worried about the fate of a Meepo versus a Mirana mid. I mean, they had kind of a rough time in the laning phase last time with Pudge and Bane roaming onto them. I can't imagine it's going to be any easier this game.
Well, the difference is in this game is, well, no, I was going to say they have Earthshaker. They do have an Earthshaker. I'm not crazy. This is going to be a 4-position Earthshaker. So they're going to have somebody who can actually sit behind the Meepo at range and harass out the Mirana. Now, the question is he going to be able to position himself to really do anything since it is a Mirana? Like, is he going to find the angles to where she can't just gun down the Meepo for free? She can't, like, leap in and get a Starstorm or just any of the extra auto attacks? It's really iffy. I see the potential there, but the question is, the resources that Mind's Eye have, will it be enough to actually get this Meepo the start that he needs, or will Leviathan be able to run them over again?
So they're looking like they're doing a bit of a change in the roles for Mind's Eye. Last round we had Henry, or Raw Dota, on the Earth Spirit, and he was looking at it as a support. So if he's playing Meepo in this one, are we seeing a support Meepo? I want to say no, but
it can't be.
Which is why I'm assuming a role swap.
Like, I'm pretty sure the last time I saw support Meepo
it was a
like,
no-tail shenanigan.
Yes.
I don't even know how long ago, and it worked.
That was in a different era of Dota. That was before Reborn, dude.
That was pre 7.0.
That would be before Reborn, yes. I know they're not 1-1, but I'm saying it's a long time ago.
This is it's gonna
different
be a hell of a
iterations
game.
of Dota Land.
I really love the pick of the Bane with Mirana and Pudge, because it's guaranteeing that either of their skill shots are going to go through unless someone's around to take it off.
You do the Nightmare into the 5-second arrow.
It's going to be a lot of wombo.
And it's also pretty useful in the lane just to just to be a bully. Like, who's actually going to stand up to a Bane? Bane right clicks and brain sap. I mean, the enfeeble, the thing that people like to talk about in 707, isn't going to be the most important thing because there's no big right clicker coming out of Mind's Eye, but just everything else.
That was also just moved to 15.
All right.
So here we go. We have
so even less likely
coming at you.
Yeah, we're rolling out here. Mind's Eye in the top lane as 5. Nusham leading the charge. Leviathan. What was my brain working? Not working.
Does your brain ever work, dude?
Questionable. So Nusham's leading the charge. Monkeys Forever right behind him on the Centaur. BSJ, Juggernaut, Slayer on Bane, and Flyby on Mirana. Smoked up, roaming out into their jungle. Pinging out maybe where they want to put some vision too. But
over here on Mind's Eye, excuse me.
The real Mind's Eye.
The real Mind's Eye. We got Oscar with his Brewmaster being followed by Fuzzy Sloth with the Earthshaker, Baba Ganoush with the Jakiro, Raw Dota with the Meepo, last but not least, Macera with the Necrophos.
As you can see by Necrophos' quick buy, he is prepared to get some swift laces.
Oh, gosh.
He's going to be jamming. Give me all the win laces. We're good to go.
Maybe
I like where Leviathan's postured right now. This is incredibly deep. People are hidden very nicely in the tree line. Not going to go anywhere in that favor. Actually, whoa, Necrophos TP'd out to the bottom lane, but still hidden in the trees. Are they looking to try and get a gank on the Meepo at level 1?
They don't have the vision for it. Like, the thought crossed my mind as well, but their first ward went in the bottom to try to scout the lane out, so they'd be literally fishing in the dark for it.
Yeah, the thought crossed my mind that they were going to TP exactly in the same spot every time because they typically do because they're trying to get that block ASAP.
Word.
some next level premonitions, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, this dynamic duo of Slayer and Nusham's going to be starting in the bottom, seeing if they can make some space for Monkeys Forever.
Yeah, they got the Nightmare here on Necrophos. Nusham landing on top of Rot, forcing out 2 rotations immediately.
Ooh,
the Fissure block out on 3. Great positioning on that. Unfortunately, not all the way into the trees to pincer out the escape route, but Tangos are good for that. And we're leaving this as a 1v1 now for a Brewmaster versus a Juggernaut. A lot of rotations are going to be happening from Leviathan now. And looks like Earthshaker is still the one that they're looking for. Or anyone.
So yeah, we talked about top, we talked about bottom. We haven't really touched up on mid, which is...
Oh, we've got the Nightmare on Jakiro here. Nusham's about to be on top of him. Here's the Rot. They're chasing him down. Baba Ganoush throwing out a dual breath. We've got the Fissure follow-up as well. Baba Ganoush, though, still taking some heavy fire. Nusham, though, he's the one that's in trouble. Trying to go into the tree line. He's in the trees, hiding away. He gets the deny. Baba Ganoush now turning back in on Slayer. More dual breath. They'll have another Fissure in 2 seconds. He's going to continue running, but I think they're giving it up. He is okay.
Yeah, with
a lot of mana used for that. Jakiro is out.
I mean, if he really wanted to, he can see if he can bum the clarity off of Fuzzy, but Fuzzy already left him, going all the way to the top, I believe. No, just looking to be in mid. But bottom again. Nusham is found. Baba Ganoush, who still doesn't have any mana, gonna get right-clicked and rotted down, looking for the deny, and he got it.
Got it. The neutral creep, MVP-ing it up right now.
Yes. Yo, when do they get a pay raise?
I don't know. Imagine if like creeps got experience if they accidentally killed a neutral, and then there was just like a random super strong creep there. All right, this is what happens when you let me think too much. Okay.
Right.
Thinking is bad.
This is why we still don't let you make Dota.
Uh-oh, Nightmare, Slayer in mid lane on one of the meatbows, but that's not going to be enough to help him out. Earthshaker actually bringing the Nightmare to him, saving him out.
Oh, he's done.
Fissure, he's going to definitely take it in the face. Nusham, though, is wrapping around behind him, and he's probably in some problems of his own. Or actually, Fuzzy Sloth, he's going to fall. Another deny for Nusham.
Oh, man. He's getting so much. Like, getting the kills, getting the regen. Oh, there's an arrow, but not a big arrow. But Nusham, with this Pudge, getting so much done and leaving nothing on the table for... Looking pretty good out there, yo.
Oh, I'm right there with you. And if we're checking out how the lanes are panning out just objectively across the map, I mean, Mirana is the one that they need to pressure, but Brewmaster is doing tons of work here against BSJ, and if there isn't a rotation coming up there soon to help build him some space, I could see Brewmaster taking over this lane.
Yeah, that's something that should be expected. Drunken Brawler putting in a good amount of work with the evasion, with the crit. Drunken Haze is the one I should be more concerned about, getting the missed chances, making it so hard for BSJ to get his last hits. And he's still doing okay, but he's not getting the free game that he had in game 1 with Terrorblade.
And we've got so much movement happening from the supports from both teams. It's going to be difficult for them to keep up the net worth and experience as time goes on. And as we see Slayer here, just protecting that regeneration rune so Flyby can get it. And maybe movements will happen from there. Because it's all about the timings and pacings in this game. Ah, the hook off the mark in mid. Because Meepo is kind of on a timer. Leviathan can just take this late. Comparatively speaking, at least. And as BSJ is getting pressured out in the top lane, we've got Nusham and Slayer in the Radiant Jungle, smoked up. Nusham actually lands a hook, chasing down Baba Ganoush still with his Rot. Doing a lot of damage here, but the slow from the dual breath making it hard for Nusham to land in these right clicks. Uses the Enfeeble, the Nightmare, keeping back the Meepo for just a moment. Poofs away to other allied Meepo, and Flyby now wants to try and help his team secure this kill in on Raw. It's not there. Slayer, though, he is under some serious stress. The hook from Nosham, able to take down that Meepo to the low ground, and they secure it.
So when Flyby originally came down, he was looking for the hook on the Meepo that, or the arrow on the Meepo that was slept, but it got blocked by the one that got left in mid. So I kind of thought that was done with. That was going to be a night that the Meepo made it through, but Raw found himself on the wrong side of the hook. Didn't help that there was a fissure blocking his way as well. So nice little pickup for Leviathan.
You know, only 2 minutes till daytime, and I'm wondering if there's going to be anything else rotation-wise predicated by night. But here we go, Monkeys Forever, maybe calling that right now, using his Stampede for fun? I think for fun. Actually, he's taking a lot of damage here from the bottom lane. This is very, very suspicious. Is he just trying to bait something out here? Flew to another side of the screen, so yeah.
All you need to know is that Omni was used. BSJ coming down from the top lane, which he's been down here for about a minute or so. Wanted to get that Omni off his hands. Make sure to cram it down Masar's throat and get himself a kill, a couple of creeps, and presumably a tower for free.
Yeah, they use the shrine here. Healed up, ready to go. Slayer's still looking for love. He wants to give that Meepo a big old hug by way of Nightmare. Nope. Monkeys Forever just chewing up Oscar across the map.
That was a solo kill too. Down here in bottom bay. They get the Nightmare, but nothing really doing as they have to fall back.
Passes it to an ally, Jakiro. Just in case there was an arrow in tow.
How is there going to be an arrow? Mirana's still mid, bullying Meepo.
Hey, you can be as suspicious as any other man.
Fair enough.
You can just be scared, all right? It's okay to be scared.
Scared
you know
of what they see? Because there's a lot of
is power to some people.
Oh god.
It's wisdom in the face of danger, my friend.
But they see the Mirana. Like, there's so many wards in the Radiant jungle. One of them just expired, but they still have good vision around mid. So they knew that Flyby was sitting there. So I don't know why they'd be afraid of the Mirana. Maybe the Bane that's trying to set her up.
Got the Nightmare. Passing it off to Jakiro. This is going to take a quick little nap. Feel refreshed off that Starstorm, poking at Fuzzy Sloth. This mid-tier 1 tower, this might be its end days here, but we've got a lot of people from Mind's Eye grouped up around there, so it's presenting a bit of a problem for Leviathan. What do you think we got to see happen here to have Meepo get to the next step where we're seeing him start to take over lanes or get kills, or the things that typically fear our pub games?
They're going to need to, they really need to break open a tower somewhere. And the question is where, because anytime Mind's Eye tries to poke their head out, they have to worry. They literally have to respect the supports. Like, normally when you have, like, a Brewmaster sitting this far ahead, close to his blink,
just off the mark.
Sitting there with his ult, you know, he can really walk at people and bully them and threaten them down. But if he can't get Primal Split off, which is really hard with, well, I guess it's not.
Top lane, we've got the Primal Split. Oh, the Fissure is going to connect on Monkeys Forever, even though the Stampede already hit. Back in the bottom lane, a lot of action on BSJ. They're able to kill out the healing ward, but it looks like Monkeys Forever in the top lane is where there's going to be a little bit of pressure. But he is not going to be the one to die just yet. Pudge is getting returned on, and BSJ now, under a suspect amount of damage, he's going to fall. Raw Dota, the Meepo action, that's making a comeback, and Monkeys Forever killing out the Fuzzy Sloth man.
Yeah, Monkeys Forever was up here juking in the trees long enough to get his Hoof Stomp off again, and he caught Oscar and the Earth Shaker in the 2-man range. Turn around.
Slayer's in a bit of a rough spot right now. Meepo's rolling in. Level 11. One of them getting hooked underneath the tower into Dismet 2. Is he going to be able to get the proof out in time? He does, just barely. The tower shot's not going to be enough. They're going to get the kill in on the Pudge. BSJ following up in on him, able to get the secure in on Raw Dota. Slayer, though, very low, 180 HP. Flyby looking to try and get a kill on Jakiro. Use 2 leaps to pursue in on this.
Oh yeah,
they're
they
still
cut him
chasing.
off.
Underneath on the tower, another leap forward, able to get the arrow. Starstorm connects also. BSJ securing the kill in the end. And is that a tier 1 we're going to get, Mr. BSJ?
Yeah, the question is, did they get Masera with it?
He's in a bad spot.
Now nobody can come in and help him.
Yeah, and Miranda's turning around like, oh, wait, maybe I should come back in on this. Let's make some moves happen. Arrow off the mark, just barely. He's still poking away. I think he's just being a nuisance more than anything now.
But yeah, Leviathan still playing this this open map game, playing on both corners, but instead of trying to push the towers down, they're just trying to push heroes down with fights going across both sides of the map. Sure, they didn't win all of them, but they made sure to get something out of them. They won bottom pretty decisively, but Monkeys Forever on the top had to take the Earthshaker when he went down with him. So, you know, as long as you're winning across the board, that's all that matters. The thing that we don't know, or I guess I know, is what's happening over here in the roast pit. Is Raw DOTA came and has snuck this roast with 4 Wraith Bands. You wanted to talk about the turnaround and when the Meepo gets on the board. This could be it.
Oh, is this it? We've got the feed skip coming out on the Meepo right now. Slayer able to get that Aegis down, and he lives just barely. Not even use Nightmare to deny himself any longer. No longer a mechanic in the game, but oh, the Meepo gets hooked back. Dismembered, not available. Monkeys Forever takes so much damage. The hood keeps him alive for so long, and he might actually be able to get out. The healing ward is on him from BSJ. He's healing up. Took him so long to take out that healing ward, but it will be enough in the end. Masera coming in with that scythe. Get that sealing blow. Good juke off the hook with that Ghost Shroud. Ends up hooking Flyby back in on his squad, and now Flyby is in a rough spot. Ice Path not going to connect in on him, but now Oscar chasing him down, throwing out the Drunken Haze. There's the Fissure to connect in on him. Oscar finishing it out. Getting that killing spree ended. Extra gold coming in on him. That fight recap shows a lot.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower
I mean, sure.
Attack.
Raw DOTA wasn't able to hold on to the Aegis, but I don't think they really cared. They held 4 heads behind it. Man, Flyby almost got out. He was literally like milliseconds away from his leap. I actually heard the leap come out, but you know, it doesn't disjoint anything. Definitely doesn't disjoint a fissure. So one of the big kills to go down, along with everybody else on Leviathan. But they still hold on to a 2K net worth lead, so it's not the end of the world for them.
So every person on Radiant from that fight,
Top lane,
minus Raw DOTA, got 750 experience for that fight. But, oh my god, Raw DOTA just throwing it away.
Yeah, like you...
Like, that's just over a level. And now it's just turning right back in on them. Oh, BSJ, no! How could you? Again, another big experience swing going to Mind's Eye. And just like that, we've gotten such an influx of experience in their favor that, I mean, net worth isn't exactly stable, but we're going to be coming to a flat line for both parties soon.
Yeah, it really would just take one more fight. As long as you keep Raw DOTA alive. That's the big thing.
Fiend's grip on Jakiro. Flyby coming in with air. Starstorm. Bane getting the kill on that. Uh-oh, is that Meepo coming in for... I don't think he knows that they're still here.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I mean, he had to have taken a guess. Like, even with the Jakiro dying, like, you know they can't just leave instantly.
They're pinging out the Mirana.
Oh, yeah,
They've found him out. They've got him with the root. The Reaper Scythe coming in. Not enough damage, but it holds him in place. Meepo gets the kill in the end. No extra respawn time added to that timer.
Wait, did you say there was none? Because that Necro totally didn't get that kill, man.
I know I said that. No extra respawn time added. Yeah.
It would have been nice, though, because that would have gave them a clear time to go for the mid tower, but it looks like they're going up top.
Stampede used. They are out of there. I'm concerned that Oscar's not going to be able to keep up the amount of mana he needs to cast a lot of spells. Even though he has the Soul Ring, he needs to put himself in a position where he's able to get back up to snuff. And with Necrophos not having mana boots, Fuzzy Sloth being the only member of the team, I think,
right,
it makes it a lot harder for him to have that sort of sustain. I think Brewmaster used to have a talent where he got mana per second. But even if I'm wrong, he doesn't now. And just a goodbye to Baba Ganoush once again. Yeah,
I actually wanted to double check that, and yeah, he used to have one at level 10, hasn't no more.
Oh, he's down! Flyby! He got just destroyed. The primal split used here. Nushim gonna go down too. Raw Dota is showing face as a Meepo now. The Meepo is ready.
They got BSJ. They got BSJ.
They're off on the grab though. The Meepo's not gonna be able to pull it in. They could have used the dispel a little bit more timely. But Monkeys Forever using that Stampede. They're able to secure the kill on Masura, but now they've got the chase coming. We're going to be okay, it looks like. Monkeys Forever, not though! Stuck by that ice path. Links ahoy. Oscar securing in that kill. We're getting some calls that they want to go and push.
Yep. Yet another Tinker Ward getting the kill on the Centaur Warrior. And I'm pretty sure this is the time. I mean, they've just taken like 3 or 4 fights across the map in the row. So Mind's Eye has to be feeling pretty good about themselves. Maybe they can't go too deep, but hopefully they can take a couple of these tier 1s and make some more space for the Meepo. See if they can bump them up above the Juggernaut.
Well, with Meepo having the Blink online, Earthshaker having the Blink online, and Brewmaster having Blink, they're looking so fresh to make some action happen. And I don't know if we called out that Necro has this Force Staff, but it's something that's been getting some serious use in these fights.
No, we haven't.
The ability for the Radiant to position themselves outweighs what the Dire can do, minus just like the overall prowess of Leap or Stampede.
I'm thinking there's maybe a call to defense. I don't think they'll get here in time for the tier 1 tower itself, but see Monkeys Forever just slowly galloping up to the top lane. Got a flank coming from the bottom in the Moonlight Shadow. Here we go.
There's the Stampede. Meepo not looking so good right now. Go down. Kill on that. Nushim with the Dismember on Oscar. Pulling him in on it. Ice Path connects, but there's Slayer. Perfectly positioned, able to get off a nice Fiend's Grip. And the Omni Slash! All of the strikes connect in on Baba Ganoush. He's able to take him down. And just like that, BSJ was hungry, and he has been satisfied by some delicious Russian cooking, I think.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
So this tier 2 is just going to blow over because it's just sitting at 5 HP. Takes it with return. You remember that week in Dota?
Yeah, okay, so it's Mediterranean. I should know that too. It's ground eggplant, sesame seeds, olive oil, lemon, and garlic. That is what Jakiro is made out of, guys. If you didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Ground eggplant, sesame seeds, olive oil, lemon, garlic. That's it. Jakiro.
So up in the top, BSJ picked up his Blink Dagger, but I think more importantly, Monkeys Forever with an Ags. So we're talking about Blink, Hood, Ags, Centaur. How are you feeling about this right now?
I'm thinking that this is kind of scary. He's got so much resistance for himself and his allies, and here we go, Stampede being used to try and save his team. Not going to be successful, though. Just hoping that the damage reduction alone would be enough, but it's so much coming in from so many sources at once. What are we going to see here? I feel like there's so much momentum around Mind's Eye, but net worth-wise, experience-wise, it's still Leviathan's game to throw. And a lot of that's predicated on the tower advantage.
Yeah, I was going to say, you say throw, but, I mean, Leviathan is not clear ahead. Net worth, like you said, 5K, but, I mean, think of the fights that have been happening lately. For the most part, they've been going towards Mind's Eye. They're looking, they're going to pick up Monkeys Forever, get in the top lane, get to the stop. Only on 3 Meepos, tries to TP away from the 4th.
And he's out!
Regeneration.
Fuzzy Sloth, not like this, man. Not like this. He just didn't get close enough with the enchant. Lets him out.
They're still chasing down on Flyby in the bottom lane. They're using the Primal Split. The Earth Spirit able to see them in Viz at level 3, 2, whatever. But it didn't matter. I'm pretty sure it has True Sight at some level. Regardless, they used the Dust, so they were able to secure that kill on Flyby. And we've got an invasion of Leviathan in the Radiant jungle. Oh, the Hook Nightmare combo into the Fiend's Grip on the Necrophos. They're going to be able to clean him up Masai at the tower. And he has that Blink Dagger, and he's got quick fingers, but Brewmaster jumping in now on the backline. Tried to go on Mirana, wasn't successful there, and now Centaur being flown away by the Primal Split. They were trying to keep him out of the fight, but now the Echo connecting in on Monkeys Forever. Reaper Sight as well. He lives. Nothing can stop him. There's just destruction everywhere. Baba Ganoush is going to go down. The Omni Slash overwhelming. Necrophos just not there to tell the tale. Oscar's going to be the next to fall, but we got a great figure connection from Fuzzy Sloth. One buyback. Baba Ganoush back into the match. Oscar trying to get something here. Blinking forward with the clap, but not able to get them.
And so while all that was going on, I was checking out Slayer and Raw up top, and Raw Dota was trying to split push, but he literally just got halted by the van.
And murdered in mid, because he blinked in for some action, so that.
Yeah, it was an interesting decision by Mind's Eye to try to split in that scenario. Having a buyback on the Meepo, don't think it's really the best one as yet.
Oh, the hook connects in on Baba Ganoush! They're going to be able to finish him up. There he goes. Now we've got Manta on BSJ. This pressure is just going to continue forward. They still have the siege creep. That's the magic thing here. He's just chipping away at these racks, ignoring anything that's going on with these heroes. And as we go further and further, BSJ just destroying the tower. They're just systematically melting them one by one. Flyby taking out Fuzzy Sloth, and there goes Meepo. Raw Dota has fallen. His mid-racks, it's going to go, and another buyback has happened. Fuzzy Sloth trying to come in on this. Oscar gonna get the kill on Nusha. It's just so much intensity building up over time. You gotta think if Oscar's Radiance is something that's helping them out dramatically enough.
We might be able to tell that if we actually had a full 5-on-5 fight, or actually I guess I'd say 5-on-9, but a lot of that easily went Leviathan's way because Slayer was able to hold Raw Dota up there for a majority of the fight when the tier 3 went down, and I think like half of the racks. So a lot of the damage has been done both physically with the heroes and the buybacks, economically with the buybacks and the towers. We're about to lose another Jakiro over here as he gets arrow and brain sat down.
Sexy. That's what people like about their Jakiros. When they come with an arrow and a brain sap, that's a Jakiro.
So you're an ability draft player?
No, that's the kind of killing that I like to administer.
You said nothing about killing.
Well, I just said that those are things that I like with them, with the Jakiro. So to the Jakiro, applying those things.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Mind's Eye has one more fight and they're treading on thin ice because Raw Dota and this Meepo doesn't have a second life. I mean, he has
Look at this return damage from Monkeys Forever onto the tower. The tower's doing more damage by hitting it than back. It's no surprising because it's 78% almost with his bonuses.
And the immediate nightmare.
Oh, the Echo connecting in on 3. Huge macro pyre as well. Pudge about to fall. Meepo now. Gonna finish up one more? I think so. BSJ forced to use his Manta. Losing a lot off that, and they're trying to continue in on these racks, and I think they'll be successful. The range racks. Oh, Vulcan. That Mirana just jumping back and forth, hopscotching over the racks. Just a silly way to end it out, and Leviathan taking this in a pretty decisive 2-0 victory.
Yeah, the middle of the game was looking kind of shaky. Looking like it can go either way, but Leviathan started edging out fight by fight. But I really think that last push where the Meepo wasn't there was pretty much the nail in the coffin for him.
Incredible play by Leviathan. Wow, they did it 2-0, no problem. any thoughts initially on play of the game?
Last push, and I say last push because it's not the push itself. Like I can't get off of this enough. It was a 4-on-5 because Slayer just held Raw Dota up there. He had the Nightmare, chained it with the Fiend's Grip, and this was after the poof, so it was just completely derailed the fight for Mind's Eye, and that gave Leviathan all the space they needed. Like, they already had Aegis, but there was no contest without a Meepo.
Yeah, getting the Meepo trapped up there was not good. I wonder if that was more of a desperation play on their part, being down the Aegis and the cheese than anything.
I could see that, because it's not like they didn't see the push coming down mid.
Right.
But I don't know if you really go for that instead of like trying to at least take a full on, like, again, 5v9, because you have a Meepo. I mean, sure, your Meepo didn't have the Aegis. You're still fighting into Aegis and cheese, but you want to try to fight this like 4v5. Get somebody picked off because you have Nusham throwing every fishing line he has in there. I don't think he got anybody in the initial artillery, the initial barrage, but don't need it when they're already down a man.
Right, right. Oh, wow. I bet I think this Ags probably did a lot of work on the Centaur with the damage reduction and the haste, obviously. Bailing people out of situations relatively easily.
Not the first one, because as soon as he got it,
he died. Yeah.
He used it for Pudge.
Yeah.
Immediately, and then Pudge was far beyond saving.
But yeah, after that, it's like there's already like not a whole lot of damage coming out of Mind's Eye aside from like Meepo poofs, right? So when the rest of the damage, which is like dot damage from the Necro, dot damage from Jakiro, like how much of that really matters when it's getting reduced?
See, that's what makes me think back to this Radiance pickup from the Brewmaster. And we had a time from 13 minutes, so 23 minutes, for the Sacred Relic to get picked up. And Radiance didn't even get finished until like 24:30. So could that gold have been spent better to have helped his team out in that time frame where they were struggling so that they would have been able to have a better outcome?
It's an excellent question.
Because that's what I've been thinking about ever since I saw that he put that Radiance on his quick buck. That it would be a great item if they were able to hold them off.
Right.
But you look at Radiance, and it is a farm accelerator just as much as it is a good item and provides good things in a fight. So could there have been things, an extra positioning item, Force Staff, or Shivas, or Ags of his own, that could have made it a better outcome?
I think a lot of this game hinged on the Meepo just doing a lot of the work, because all the other heroes are basically just set up for Meepo, save the Necrolite to finish people off, but he died a lot. Meepo had a lot of deaths.
It also didn't help when he went for the first Roche, and he was so close.
Yeah, yeah. And then he died immediately after. That Bane was like a complete thorn in Meepo's side. He took his Aegis. He held him top lane when his team
that
needed
was
him.
So fortuitous for him to just walk in and be like, "Oh shit, Roche is about to be done." Sleep.
I wonder if Meepo's in there.
Thank you. Grip. Bull.
Brain sap as well to finish him off. Take the first Aegis off his hands.
So, that was a fantastic series. We're going to see Leviathan advancing to more upper bracket games, and Mind's Eye is going to be knocked down to lower bracket. We are going to take a quick pause, and we'll be back with you very shortly.
Calling all Amazon shoppers and lovers of Bitcoin. Want to enjoy huge discounts while shopping with Bitcoin and save on millions of products? Purse.io is now better than ever before. With Name Your Discount, users stand to save an average of 15% on all their purchases. Buy now. Instantly search for Amazon items on Purse.io and save 5% just by using Bitcoin to check out. Purse.io. Finally, a reason to use Bitcoin.
just haven't seen it. Now you close your eyes. They just haven't seen it. They just haven't seen it. They just haven't seen it.
Calling all Amazon shoppers and lovers of Bitcoin. Want to enjoy huge discounts while shopping with Bitcoin and save on millions of products? Purse.io is now better than ever before. With Name Your Discount, users stand to save an average of 15% on all their purchases. Buy now. Instantly search for Amazon items on Purse.io and save 5% just by using Bitcoin to check out. Purse.io. Finally, a reason to use Bitcoin.
And now you close your eyes. They just haven't seen it. They just haven't seen it. And now you close your eyes. They just haven't seen it. They just haven't seen it. They just haven't seen it. Find ourselves alone here, wanting to disappear, change our names, live on the sun, where every sound is clearer, burns a little deeper, and we're close enough, but your lucid touch evaporates. I open up my eyes, wake up dreaming through the days and sleepless nights. Your lucid touch evaporates. I open up my eyes, wake up dreaming through the days and sleepless nights. Time winds away around us, frozen in a moment. It just slips through the space in between our fingers. Never stop to wonder how we fall in place, but your lucid touch evaporates. I open up my eyes, wake up dreaming through the days and sleepless nights. Your lucid touch evaporates. I open up my eyes, wake up dreaming through